Good morning, Ralph Hartman here, out here on the roadside again, potential candidate for Congress. As I said before, there is a lot of adversity to try to preclude the possibility. I'm the first to realize that, but a lot of the adversity is because of the former family, and what they did is they hit me with some very terrible secret false accusations earlier in my life, and I just heard one of them get into traffic sound saying it again, accusing that I had said that I killed someone back in November of '82. But you know, the only truth is that I've never even hurt anyone, and I pass any kind of polygraph test about it. You know, what they did is, like I had said before, that they partly crippled my life secretly by invading me in an operation and something that they insist my father had done into me when I was a baby in my head. I don't like dwelling on those kinds of matters because it seems like making excuses or whatever when they like to insist about something that goes so far back to even when you're just after you were born. But they like to very egotistically assert it, you know. And you know, even recently, one day I was on the roadside and a particular young gay who alleges being a cousin interrupted me, accusing that I'm Albert Al's instead, you know, the name of my father, that they just think of it as though I'm nothing but a possession of a father who had staged his death way back when I was an 11-year-old. But specifically, the accusation from 1982 had occurred because of the former family secretly installing into me, and I didn't even know about it. 1982 was the year after the secret medical malpractice scam, when they started secretly spreading a filthy, terrible rumor around accusing me of suddenly changing and having a stain of a man on the corner of my eye. I've explained that before, and I don't like to be forced to revert to partly embarrassing matters, but the instance had only been an occasion of myself at home alone, and the persons that continue to secretly pivot on the accusation might have even contributed to the start of AIDS back in 1981. But at the time, through years since, after I began to find out what they had done, what their rumoring had been, is they frequently reverted to amusedly saying, "We knew that you did," you know, and that they did whatever they did because of their own secret orientations, and that they were opportunists. I was only 24 and 25 at the time. There was a possibility of maybe a career, and they worked as obsessively as they could to destroy me. So anyway, I was about a year into, a bit more than a year into experiencing very negative ramifications of the Orlando medical malpractice. But part of the ramification was nearly being killed kind of dramatically on two different occasions. On one occasion, I was in Manhattan late one night visiting one of my stepsisters, and I was with a friend of hers, and we had just walked out of a bar that had closed. There was nobody else around when a gang started approaching from the other side of the street. They branched into two groups. The motion of one or more of them looked like deadly crabs, and they were looking at me exactly, and I knew for sure that if they got to me, that they were going to kill me. It was obvious, but I didn't know why. So anyway, there was a taxi there, and the lady I was with got into the car and started to proceed away without me. But I said, you know, it doesn't cost any extra, just let me in. We hadn't even had an argument. So anyway, the taxi driver, instead of driving away, waited, and the lady relented and let me ride. And then moments later, the gang that was approaching, all whites, probably in their 20s and 30s, approached very near the taxi, and then suddenly all of them broke off their approach and dispersed. So that was a near incident that turned out to be because of a secret medical malpractice. And then later in the year, I was in Orlando on Rio Grande Avenue, driving towards Interstate 4 early one night. Had a problem because my left headlight was broken somehow. It wasn't because of me. Something had been done. I don't know whether somebody broke it or if it burned out. I don't remember. But I turned turned onto the front of the road that paralleled I-4, and there was an old broken down car in front of me. It wasn't stopped. It was very slow. A very old car with a broken out back windshield. It was completely broken out, and it had a trunk that didn't even have a lock in it. And they decided to block me from passing. So anyway, I backed up, and they stopped in front of me, and a big thug got out of the passenger seat, walked towards me, so I backed up a little bit more. And then the creepy long-haired thug turned to his trunk, opened it up, and got a rifle or a shotgun out of the back that had a blanket wrapped around it. So I had to back up fast, back to Rio Grande, and drive under I-4 and get onto the interstate on the other side. So you see, I was having an experience of nearly being killed because of rumoring that I didn't even know about yet. So anyway, a night in November of '82, I was in my apartment alone. I didn't know that the family had installed into me. And what they keep on saying is, you're what you said in that mirror, or you're what you said in your mirror, and you're what you said, and I had one time, partly sadly, I was getting ready to leave on a particular night, thinking about driving to the Lake Buena Vista Hotels complex. So anyway, I was remembering also being stalked late at night. On my way out to cars, sometimes it was a long walk, and I'd notice from peripheral vision, somebody stalking a car. On the particular night in my apartment, I thought, if somebody ambushes me, maybe I'd say something like, "I've killed before and I'll kill again, so you better back off," Something similar to that, those exact words or whatever. But all I was doing was rehearsing to myself what I thought I might say, just to get bluff, to give me time to get into my car. But then, what happened was, something happened. There was an immediate reaction, and years passed, and I find out that William B. Love, the stepfather, and my mother acted as though I was looking in the mirror and seeing them spying at me, and deciding that I was telling them that I had killed someone. But they knew that they were lying about that also. They've said that they knew that they were lying. That I had been monitored, that whatever had been done into me had been done into me early in life, even from the beginning of life, and they had known that I'd never hurt anybody. But again, they decided to be opportunists against me. And as recently as a couple of nights ago, they were a most terrible rampage with usual assailants, attacking at me moment to moment for about 5 hours. Attacking, arguing, sneering, threatening, menacing. They were a very terrible offense again. What they do is that they somehow focus a broadcasting capability to a certain place of traffic and then radiate it into where I'm living and through the air conditioning system. And it's so loud that they were being heard down the road again. So they resented that. What they resented was that I was laying and trying to get some sleep a little bit earlier than usual. So anyway, I ended up having to be arguing and stamping back at them again. And again, they were saying the same accusation of what you once did and what you said in your mirror. And Bill Love and my mother both alleged being partly official about it. And there was never even one time any kind of regular procedure. They didn't even tell me that I was being accused of anything. If I had known that I was being spied at back in November of '82, I'd have been very careful to say a disclaimer, And you know what else? Many years passed, and the former stepsister that I visited in Manhattan ends up getting into the confusion, saying that she had in some way been with about the gang that had almost killed me on a night in Manhattan. I don't know why. I think somewhere it was alleged that there was a name Beresford involved because it's a Beresford housing complex in that area of Manhattan, and that was is one of her father's, William B. Love's, Beresford. So I don't even know if that's true or not, but those are comments that have been said since. And now I've been forced to be physically alone for nearly 37 years because of it. Without me being even notified of any accusation, but because of what they installed into me, and because of their secretly spreading their terrible rumors around, I have physically been alone for 37 years. They arbitrarily destroyed any chance for a career. They used their rumors against women who would otherwise consider me nicely. And just as recently as this morning, they were saying the same accusation again. All from secreting at me. And I think that during this campaign, that other people will become more aware of other activities that they've been involved in and other ramifications that affect others about their activities also. Some of which I've already detailed. Until then, again, I'm always hoping that everyone stays